Hello everyone, and I have a very exciting Mikhail Tal chess game to show you once again. So in this chess game, Tal had the white pieces and his opponent was Stanislav Wintr, and this was a chess game from 1960 in Prague. This was from a Prague radio simul. So Tal starts the game with e4, e5, f4, and this is the king's gambit, accepted. Interestingly, as a very aggressive chess player, as an attacking player, Tal didn't play the king's gambit very often in his chess game, so this is a rare moment in Tal's chess career. Knight to f3, d5, e takes on d5, knight to f6, bishop check, c6, d takes, and then b takes, defending the bishop, and then knight to d5, blocking the bishop. Tal castled, bishop to d6, knight to c3, attacking the knight, developing and defending. Knight attacks the bishop, bishop goes back, and then bishop to b3, knight to d7, d4, knight from 7 to f6, and then knight attacks the bishop, pinning the knight, unpinning, knight to d7. Well, black can actually castle in this position, but then knight to e5, and you can see that targeting some of the key squares. So at the same time attacking the bishop, and if knight takes, then queen takes, and this is a difficult position. There are so many threats. Black had to be careful in this position after castling knight to e5. So knight to d7, this is why maybe, and then bishop takes knight, and Tal simply captures on f4, and Tal is a pawn up. So h6. And the engine told me that knight to h3 was better, but Tal played knight takes on f7, and this was an unsound move, not a logical move. The computer chess engine didn't like this move, but dragging the king out for the attack, and this is forking the queen and the rook. Black must find the most accurate defense for surviving Mikhail Tal's attack. This was a typical Mikhail Tal strategy. So black had to defend precisely. You snooze, you lose. One mistake is all it takes against Tal. So this is forking queen and the rook, so black must take. But then the problem is, after knight to e5 check, forking the king and the bishop. So black must take the knight with the knight, plus the rook is aiming at the king from the open f-file. So the king is exposed dangerously to white's attack. So black must be very careful and defend precisely against Tal, the magician from Riga. So knight takes, bishop takes with check, and then bishop to f6. Not king to g8 because of queen to g6. Threatening checkmate, and at the same time attacking the bishop. So black can play bishop to f8, and then white can capture on g4. And if king to e8, then queen to g6 check, forking the king and the bishop, and white is much better. White is 2 pawns up. So bishop takes, and then bishop to f6, rook attacks the bishop, and Tal can double the rooks as well. So lifting the rook up with tempo, and still black is a piece up, but Tal has 2 extra pawns, plus the king is exposed and white has the attack. So h5, h3, bishop back, defending the bishop, and g4. Threatening g5, the bishop is pinned, h takes, and again threatening g4, so pinning this pawn. Doubling the rooks as planned, rook takes on g4, rook takes, bishop takes, and queen infiltrates. So can you see the threat? Mikhail Tal is pinning the g-pawn and threatening rook takes or bishop takes on f6. So unpinning queen to g6, attacking the bishop, and bishop to h3. But the bishop is running out of safe squares in this position. How about bishop to e2? So the bishop can escape, but then rook to e1 is a very serious move. And how to defend the bishop? If defending like this, then bishop takes check, and this is also winning the queen. Discover attacking the king and winning the queen. So you can see that this is why bishop to h3, but then rook to f3 is trapping the bishop. Queen to e7, and then simply bishop takes on f6, and black is in trouble. You snooze, you lose. So queen takes, But what happens if pawn takes, then rook to e3? This is skewering the king and the queen, and black is losing the queen. So bishop takes, queen takes, and then rook simply captures the queen, and Tal is winning the queen, and the chess game, white is much better. So bishop to f5, but after queen to b7, black didn't want to fight this losing battle. This is a winning endgame for white. Tal is going to have two connected pass pawns eventually after black defends the rook. This game looks like an awesome game, but this was just another day at the office for Tal. Actually, in this position, Wintr resigned. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time with more Mikhail Tal chess games. Take care and bye bye.